There is no question, as Director Wray of the FBI and I have expressed publicly, we are in a heightened threat environment.
Alejandro Mayorkas, who of course is the Department of Homeland Security, the head of the Department of Homeland Security, here he is running cover for the people that might, I don't know, cause a little terror in this country. Just listen to this. Tell me if you think his eyes are on the right prize here.
We've got Israel and Iran now in an open confrontation. I think a lot of people reasonably wonder whether what's happening overseas may become a threat to the homeland.
Yes.
Is there an increased risk in America of some sort of attack tied to sympathies in the Middle East?
Yeah.
We have seen an increase in anti-Semitism. We have seen an increase in Islamophobia following the October 7th terrorist attacks. There is no question, as Director Wray of the FBI and I have expressed publicly, we are in a heightened threat environment. And what we worry about is an increase in what we call domestic violent extremism, the radicalization of individuals already here, driven to violence based on an ideology of hate.
Credible threats right now as we speak?
We have no known credible threats at this time, but we are in a heightened threat environment.
What an absolute clown this man is. First off, we've seen an increase in anti-Semitism and Islamophobia. First off, there are protests everywhere calling for genocide of the Jews. It is not to say that no one out there is bigoted toward Muslims, but there is no mainstream chants and mass groups all over the place and shutting down bridges and airports and everything else to say anything bad about Muslims. It's just not true. Also, Islamophobia, the phrase itself, it's really important not to use that phrase because it is a completely fabricated phrase. A phobia is an irrational fear. If you are a good liberal, if you are a gay person, you should have somewhat of a rational fear of Islam, which wants to convert you. Not every Muslim person. But I have an irrational fear. I don't know. Do you think if somebody wants to kill you and you're a little concerned about that, would you call that a irrational fear? Probably not. The word anti-Semitism, I think, has also been mucked. You could just call it Jew hatred. And clearly a certain segment of the people that Alejandro Mayorkas represents actually have that because it is the base of the Democrat Party right now. But the real purpose of that clip is that it clearly, if 7 million people have come into this country, some percentage of them probably have bad intentions, right? Have we learned anything after October 7th? But what they're mostly concerned about is homegrown domestic terrorism. And you know what that's code for? That obviously is code for white supremacists, right? It's going to be the MAGA people with those domestic, they've been here. It's not the new people. And that isn't to say that none of them are bad or mean or might want to do bad things. But all of us know that the real threat, if there is a threat in the country right now as it pertains to terrorism, it obviously is coming from a group of people that we don't know exactly how they got here and what their intentions are. That is obvious, but it's a constant shell game with these people. You see reality and then they move it over here.